Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Friday, November 15th, 2024. And if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily Bank Shot best bet in college hoops, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. We got a great card of college basketball, some big matchups. Here are the games we're going to talk about. First up, we see TCU and Michigan. This one's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on Fox Sports 1. I think this is a good spot for Michigan to bounce back. I like their chances to win this game and cover the spread. Now, we faded Michigan in that last game against Wake Forest. I really think Wake Forest is much improved this year, and I don't think there's really any shame in that loss for Michigan. It was a close one, came down to the final moments, and Wake Forest prevailed. But like I said, I think Michigan bounces back, and TCU's had a solid start to the year, but we really don't know what to expect because they have yet to face, they've yet to play a game on the road, and they've yet to face a tough opponent. They played Texas State in that last game, but really doesn't tell us too much, and it was a 5-point win in a close one. It really wasn't that impressive a performance. And the big concern for me with TCU right now, their free throw shooting. I mean, if this game looks to be a closer one, at least towards the end of the second half, and Michigan's trying to dress up the score to cover this number, TCU shooting 56.5% from the charity stripe is not going to get the job done in terms of finding the backdoor cover. TCU in that last game shot 47% on 32 attempts from the free throw line. I worry about that, especially on the road. I'm going to go Michigan in this game and lay the points. I think they win this game by 10 plus. Next up, we see UAB and High Point. This one's going to be a 7 p.m. Eastern start time. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. Two great mid-major offenses and teams that have a lot of expectations this year, more than just a winning season and a postseason tournament. They'd like to get back to the big dance, and I think they both have a fair shot at doing so. But I like UAB in this particular matchup, and for starters, I think that they're more battle-tested. I mean, UAB faced Vermont in the opener, which is a team that makes the tournament almost every year, winning that America East Conference tournament. They also faced Southern Miss, which I think is a really sneaky, solid team in the Sun Belt this season, and Southeastern Louisiana, which I think is one of the better Southland teams this year. On the flip side, High Point has not really been tested. They faced 3 teams outside the top 290 in KenPom: Coppin State, North Carolina Central, and Jackson State. That game against Jackson State, a little bit concerning for me. It was a little bit too close. They gave up 71 points in that one to a team that's not really known for its offense, and that's where I worry the most in this game is High Point's defense. We know the Panthers have a great offense. They can shoot the basketball like nobody else. 7th in the country right now in effective field goal percentage. But that defense right now ranked 194th in adjusted defensive efficiency. I think will be a problem in this game against a very experienced UAB team. We do not see teams in the American Athletic return as much production as UAB did this year very often. And I think UAB is a special team this season, one you want to watch out for. And I know the loss against Vermont was a little bit concerning on opening night against a home game especially. But that's a very good Vermont team, and I'm not too worried about it. I think UAB is a lot better than they were even last Monday or November 4th. So give me UAB in this one. I'm going to take the points, take them on the money line as well. Next up, it's Penn State and Virginia Tech. This one's going to be 7:30 Eastern on Peacock. It's a neutral site game. And, for me, it's a nightmare matchup for Virginia Tech, in my opinion. The Hokies have some talent. We've seen them play well so far. I mean, they're 3-0 to start the season, but they have also not really played too tough of a schedule. I give them credit for winning that game against Winthrop. I honestly thought Winthrop would win that game outright. We took the points with the Eagles in that game, and they were able to cover for us. But, Virginia Tech was able to win that game 58-52, a strong defensive showing. I like this Virginia Tech defense overall. The problem for me in this matchup is, A, it's a neutral site game for an inexperienced team, which is already not a great situation to be in. This is the 315th ranked team in terms of D1 experience. So not only did they not return a lot of production, but a lot of these players don't have a lot of D1 experience to begin with. And that's especially the case in the backcourt, where Penn State, I think, will be able to make its money in this ballgame because with a Mike Rhodes-led defense, whether he's been at Penn State or at VCU, these defenses have been very, very aggressive. They'll force a lot of turnovers. They'll take advantage of a weak backcourt. And that's where I think Penn State, I think we see a lot of fast break points in this game for the Nittany Lions. They're already 7th in the country in average possession length offensively, and they're actually off to a pretty nice start to the season shooting-wise, 29th in the country in effective field goal percentage, taking care of the basketball, getting those second chance looks. For me, Penn State, I think, will have some issues when it comes to some of the other teams in the Big Ten, teams with strong backcourts like Purdue. But in this matchup, I think it's all Penn State. Next up, we see Georgia and Georgia Tech. This one's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern start time on ESPN Plus. Yeah, this is a in-state rivalry game, of course, but it's also a rematch. These teams played last year on December 5th, and that was a 14-point win for Georgia, the Bulldogs. So while Georgia Tech is at home playing with revenge, I don't think it's going to be enough in the end. I still like Georgia in this game on the road, and I got to say, I think Georgia's a team to watch out for in the SEC. Mike White may not be my favorite head coach, but I will say he's a great recruiter. He has built another strong team this season, a great mix. I like the backcourt. I think the front court's underrated. Obviously, Newell is one of the more highly touted prospects this year. He's off to a nice start in his freshman season. And, Georgia took care of business against North Florida in that last game, won it by 13 points, covering the opening number. And we got to remember, North Florida, first of all, they beat Georgia Tech by 12 points, but they also beat South Carolina. They were on a roll going into that game, and Georgia was up by double digits basically the entire game. And like I said, they covered the opening number. They were up 20 points in like the final 2-3 minutes. They should have covered the closing number as well, but still a very impressive showing for Georgia. I think they're too much in this game for the Yellow Jackets. So even though they're playing with revenge, I got to go against the Yellow Jackets in this one. Give me Georgia. Next up, the final game we're going to talk about for the Friday card is Arizona and Wisconsin. This one, 9 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. Another game where we see, these teams met last year. It was a 25-point win for Arizona. Now Wisconsin's the home team this season. They're playing at home with revenge as the home dog. Usually these are spots I love, but not in this one. I got to go Arizona as well and lay the points. I just think Arizona matches up really well with Wisconsin. The same reason, they matched up well last year. That game, 98-73, I think was a generous final score in Wisconsin's favor because Wisconsin shot 48% from three in that one. They still lose by 25 points. Arizona had 26 free throw attempts. They only made 16 of them. That's 62%. There was a path that Arizona could have scored 110 plus points in that ball game. That's how, on fire their offense was. And I see, similar results in this game. Arizona's coming off an absolute blowout against Old Dominion, 102-44. The only problem I see with this team right now is they have so many playmakers, so many scorers. There's only one basketball. And I see that with a few teams in college basketball right now, like BYU. There's so many players that can be difference makers, but you only got one basketball, so you got to figure out plays that are going to work consistently. And Arizona, I think, is one of those teams. They're a great rebounding team. They take care of the basketball. It's a true road game. They've yet to be tested this year. These are usually tough spots, so maybe tread lightly in a game like this. But when you look at the eye test, Arizona's got it. Wisconsin, I think, is a little bit weaker than last year's team. And I think Arizona wins this game and covers the number on the road. And that's it. Those are the games for Friday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and put those college hoops picks in the comments section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.